I first met Chad in 2002 on the internet. I know that sounds really strange, but let me explain this story. Out of the blue, this guy named Chad Anderson emailed me from Chicago to let me know that he's encouraging me, praying for me, and looking forward to joining Quest Church upon his move to Seattle from Chicago. And I thought it was just kind of random for this person to contact me. But when I first met Chad in person, it made perfect sense. Chad is a unique person. This month, May of 2008, his family, his friends, his community group, and I had the privilege of joining him as well. They gathered together to celebrate and mark 20 years of Chad's life, 20 years since he was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 12. This is a little glimpse of his story. Chad, thanks for coming out here and sharing your story with the church community. Could you just tell us a little bit about who you are?
Grew up as a missionary kid in West Africa, Senegal, and Ivory Coast. Right now I live in Seattle, and I've been here for about 6 years. I'm right now working with AmeriCorps with immigrants and refugees. I got my master's in marriage and family therapy 3 years ago. Melinda, my beautiful wife, who you married us.
Yes.
Had the pleasure.
In beautiful Iowa.
I mean, destination Iowa.
Yes.
We've been married for almost 5 years.
Okay. Wow.
So,
okay. A few weeks ago, you had some family and friends join you and Melinda to kind of mark 20 years since you were diagnosed with this brain tumor. So if you could, take us back 20 years ago and tell us a little bit about the circumstances when you found out about that diagnosis.
Coming back to the States, when we first came back, I was having kind of difficulty breathing at night with central sleep apnea, and went in for tests for an MRI, and they diagnosed the brain tumor. Had surgery the next week and radiation afterwards. And after that, I got sick a lot in middle school and in high school and stuff like that afterwards. But for the most part, I've been stable. Progressively over the years, my balance has gotten worse. So you see me take falls all the time.
Yeah.
And I just get back up. I need people to help me up. And that's just the way it is for me.
How do you handle that? You know, as a child, as a 12-year-old person, but also for your parents as believers of Christ, as missionaries, you know, how do you handle that how do you have hope and faith in the midst of that kind of circumstance?
It took me years afterwards to be able to say I'm angry with God. I mean, this isn't okay. Obviously, because it changes my life. And no one really, we don't like change. I don't like change. I've always wanted to be the kid in the back of the class that no one notices, but I am always noticed. Not just because I stand out physically, because I walk with a forearm crutch, or because I fall down. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. I go through pain, I go through disappointment, I go through anger, and I'm not always happy. Melinda can attest to that. I think I had to have other people have hope for me until I was able to hold it for myself. And my parents, my community, friends, church, knowing that I was, and still am, prayed for by people all over the world has really been a source of encouragement and strength for me in the process, and it is today. That's why I'm here. It's because God is faithful and because people are faithful. And sometimes you can't reach out to other people.
Yeah. But people reached out to you.
But people reached out to me. And so that is a huge gift that I've been given, and I want to be able to give to others.